This is a quick demo of the middle splits and a couple of key aspects that you want to keep in mind when doing this drill. So for the passive middle split, I like to have some sliders because I want to encourage my body to access a range that it's not 100% potentially comfortable in. And sliders are going to help encourage that. Sticky floors is possible, it's just a lot harder to do. And then you've got to work harder to get into the position, and there's a little bit more, literally a little bit more friction to get into the position. So when working with these sliders, I like to have some of my foot off the slider so that I literally have some brakes now, so that if I find like I'm going too far and I feel unsafe, I can just literally put my forefoot down and I'm going to stop sliding immediately. So it's a little bit of a safety net. Besides that, depending on how flexible you are and how close you are to your middle splits, you're going to need some kind of elevated surface, you know, a box like this if you're just starting, or potentially yoga blocks if you're already lower down, just so you can be, again, supported, right? Because with this, just like any time we're working flexibility goals, initially it's great to have support so that CNS actually settles down a little bit and offers you a little bit more range, rather than going straight into your max with no support and then your body just resisting getting any new range because it doesn't feel safe. So from here, I'm just going to allow the sliders to gently slide me out, and I can use the forefoot to act as my brake. Now I'm going to stay conservative here because I haven't warmed up and I'm not training middles that much, but you can see as my body yields a little bit, I can let it go. And then my hands can comfortably meet the floor, not the floor, the box here. And now I can actually use a bit more weight in my upper body and allow my legs to just sink a little bit. Now, what I'm allowing to happen here, even though I'm completely upright in my torso, is I'm allowing for an anterior pelvic tilt. And that's really important to help your body get low and to the legs to actually physically, anatomically go out to the side of you, yeah? We can also play with a bit of shifting the hips back, an anterior pelvic tilt. You'll notice I just sunk down a little bit deeper. Still got a lot of weight here in my arms though, yeah? A lot of support here. Trying to build a bit of confidence in this position, if you will. Big stretch now through my inner legs here, inner thighs, those adductors, and that can sometimes, depending on how tight you are, cross the knee as well. That is normal. Just be mindful of it, and you'll have to become familiar with that sensation so you know what's too much or too little. Now, I'll prescribe how much time I want you to spend here, but when you're ready, make sure you have enough strength to then potentially lean forward, but also use your upper body to help press out of that position. And that's literally it. You're supporting yourself down in the bottom of this, holding on to something and allowing your legs to go out to the side. Typically, we'll do somewhere from 10 to 30 seconds in this position and then accumulate 10 to 30 seconds multiple times over in that end range. Now, I was talking about anterior pelvic tilt. So even though I'm upright, what I'm allowing to happen for my pelvis is this. I'm allowing that pelvis to tip forward ever so slightly, so that will allow my legs to go that little bit further out, yeah? So, and you can test this. You can test this and be fully posterior pelvic tilt and try and go down. You'll hit a certain block. And as soon as you allow your hips to go anterior, you'll be able to slide that little bit further, yeah? So that's what I'm talking about. At the same time, pushing the hips back and then coming forward will also give you a little bit more room. So you have these little variables to play with. I might also ask you then, after spending some time in here, to do some contractions, you know, pulling the feet together. But that's also another drill that we can do, but that's a little bit further down the line. And that is your passive middle split.